I'm Dr. Danite, and this is the Bliss Lab, where we approach life as a delicious experiment. From Tantra to embodiment, from polarity to pleasure, we're here to study bliss, one juicy conversation at a time. Hello, my loves. Welcome back to the Bliss Lab. I'm your host, Dr. Danite. And today's topic is such an amazing one, and it's near and dear to my heart. And we're diving into a topic that has both mystique and misunderstanding around it, and that is Tantra. Today, we're going to dive into the world and the mystery and the beauty of Tantra. You've probably heard the word floating around more and more these days, but what does Tantra really mean? Is it really just about sex? Is it about having hot, steamy sex, or is there more to it? Is it truly a spiritual path? Well, my guest today is near and dear to my heart. I had the honor of walking this tantric path with her. She and I both trained in Bali for Tantra teacher training. And we've gotten to witness each other's evolution and growth as women, as practitioners. And it's been a beautiful journey. And she's one that I had such a deep connection with. There was 40 women and they were all incredible. But my conversations with you, Tara, were always so endearing and touching and on point. So I would love to welcome you as my guest today to open this beautiful conversation about Tantra. This is Tara Tissier. I love your French, but Tissier?
Tissier.
Tara Tissier. So she has been on the path for 30 years with many hours of study, meditation, many certifications. And actually, she is now a Tantrika, a fierce, devoted Tantrika. And we're going to understand what that means to you, Tara. And maybe we just open it with this, the question, what is Tantra? And how has it touched you, and how has it come through you, and how do you want to share through the beautiful expression of you of what this beautiful practice and ancient wisdom is?
I think for me, Tantra is a gift. It's a method, it's a path, it's a way, and it has to do to everything you do. This human experience is a way to grow, and is a way not just to grow but to find, and I think it goes with your podcast, your bliss,
your bliss,
your
a
joy.
Path to enlightenment. Mm-hmm.
Exactly. But for me it's even, because enlightenment is such a big word, but for me it's like the birthright to taste it all and have it all. That's what Tantra is.
That's the gift. To take everything that's around you in each moment and bring a level of consciousness to everything and to weave it all together into the experience. And we'll get more into this. I know we're speaking kind of high level, but really hear us right now. This is a path to expansion and to a way of life that is delicious.
That's the word. It's juicy, delicious, juicy, and alive.
There it is.
It's aliveness. It's the difference between you wake up in the morning and you don't really look forward to your day, and then you go to sleep and you don't really look forward to tomorrow, to waking up in the morning and say, fuck yeah.
Yeah, fuck yeah.
Fuck yeah.
Every morning. So and I'm sure people are listening like, okay, what drugs are you on? So let's, but it's true, and it is a gift. And it has been probably one of the most powerful parts of my journey of awakening, especially into the feminine. During our training, I remember many weeks in, I had moments of, oh, it all makes sense. It all makes sense now. How I work with this body, how I work with the energies around. And Tantra really means to weave together. So to really take it all, the things we deem as bad or good, or, the emotions, the energies, the sexuality, the thoughts, the feelings, and how do we take it all as information and cultivate it into the experience? So let's go deeper. So that, I think, is a beautiful high level. It's exciting to say it that way. But tell me how it's affected your life. Maybe let's get a little bit more into the experience of unfolding since Tantra's come into your life, and maybe even some moments you've had in the practices or some ahas that you've had. Let's bring it into more of the moment to moment.
Well, I have like, first of all, let's be very clear. Tantra is not just sex. It includes sex, but it's just a way of life. Tantra is as much what you eat than, how you eat. So let's, like, I think as a woman lately, I had a moment of, like, I call that the Baywatch moment, because in the Tantra training that we did together, we had a practice that had to do with self-love, because Tantra has very much to do with self-love. And we had a practice that had to do with, look at yourself in a mirror and through a very precise practice, love yourself as you are. Like, you don't change anything, you just love yourself. And I'm someone who, I'm okay. I feel I'm okay physically, but I have my, cellulite here, whatever.
Sure.
And after doing this practice, it was incredible. I live in Ibiza and I was at the beach. And there are guys, this is important, there are men playing frisbee at the beach.
Uh-huh.
And the frisbee goes in the water, it's the winter, so the guy are like, oh, And my friend, after 10 days of practice, who normally is the kind of woman that will readjust my bikini and walk with my hands on my thigh, that kind of thing. In front, my friends, I had a girlfriend with me. The frisbee go in the water. Don't ask me why. Here I am. Took my dress off. The whole beach is watching. Nobody's in water. It's winter. Walk like a queen in the water. Pick up the frisbee and send it like this to the guys. Walk back to the beach. And everybody was like, the guys were like this. And I just said, yeah, I live here all year long, and I'm used to the cold. Not for a moment, my friend, did I think of how I look. I didn't adjust. I mean, I could have been without bikini. I wouldn't even know.
Yeah.
The freedom of that moment.
The freedom.
The freedom.
Oh my gosh, I would pay money to have seen it. I'm getting a visual. But what I'm hearing you say is nothing changed about the way you looked. What shifted was your connection to your body, your acceptance of your body, and the embodiment. Beauty is not on the outside. Beauty radiates from how we accept ourselves, how we hold ourselves, how we move through the world is true beauty. And through that practice, the like and dislike list, it's a very powerful practice. When she first shared it, I was like, and it is shut me up, because you're bringing loving awareness, the most potent medicine there is, especially for a woman, to the parts of us that we have the wiring to judge. And through bringing loving awareness as a practice repetitively to the parts we normally have a different dialogue with, literally changes what you see. It's like I don't know what to call it, delusional or something. And then we feel that. And then we have Baywatch moments.
Exactly.
And so that was a moment where you're like, I'm free.
Exactly. Is that I was me. I was so me in that moment. I undressed, went to pick up the frisbee, threw it back, dressed back, and left. The freedom of that moment.
I mean, think about the way you walk through life, the way you grab the frisbee and have that moment, the way you make love, the way you hold, it extends through everything. And so embodiment is such an important part of the feminine work, especially because the feminine really does function more from the neck down. Our wisdom, our intuition truly can come from the body. But about embodiment, how we feel in our own skin, and then what energy are we putting off, and how much energy does it take to not be free, to have all of those concerns?
Absolutely. And for me, that's that. It's a path to freedom.
Yeah, it's a path to freedom. And we create our own prisons, don't we?
Yeah.
A society, We create our own prisons and we don't even know we're in them until we're free.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's exactly that. And I think that's a very important point, because that's the thing is you don't even know you're the slave of yourself and your own thoughts. Yeah,
No, because it's all you know. You don't
exactly.
even know it could be different.
And it's
And this
all
is,
you learn. It's all that was told to you. And you just live this life. And one day it's like a veil falls, you with you.
yeah.
And that's
And once you
Tantra
taste it,
is the method for that. Yeah.
and when you taste that, it's a beautiful thing. You know, we've been living this life one way for so long, and then you taste something different, and that level of freedom and within self and in relationship to life. And it's like, where has this has been an option? This has been an option, you know? So going back, just to go a little bit deeper into Tantra encompasses everything. Every part of being human, physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually, nature. And so, of course, that includes sex and sexuality, because there are, you know, it really does address the chakra system. And we have the sexual energy centers in our body. It just doesn't exclude them like many other ancient religions or ancient practices. A lot of the sexuality has been sanitized. And in Tantra, it's left whole. And so it's not only about sex, but because it includes sex and sexuality has been so repressed in the past that it got a lot of attention for the the sexuality, because it actually encompassed it as one part of being human. But it encompasses emotions and the heart and the voice and, I mean, pleasure and it's meditation, right? It's all through meditations. So
Absolutely.
that's just a way to put it in perspective. It's not that it does address sexuality in our sexual centers, and it addresses sexual energy as life force energy,
Yes.
which is powerful stuff. And if we can move that sexual energy, see, we're used to sexual energy in the root chakra, and we're used to a root chakra orgasm, right? And we think that's the end all be all. But little did we know, our bodies are wired for that is just the beginning. It's just the beginning. And by moving that sexual energy, we can have orgasms in all of our chakras. But the ultimate is if we can unstuck our chakras and work with the ones that are stuck, which is a lot of what Tantra is too, we can move that energy up and have an orgasm with the universe. What?
I know. I know. And not just women, men as well.
Thank you. And men as well.
And men as well.
And that's sex and sexuality, sex and samadhi. You know, no mud, no lotus is a metaphor that's used often, right? And it's sexuality is a part of the energetic movement, a part of the awakening, because it's life force energy. We don't just make babies with sexual energy. We create life, right? For enlightenment, the opening of the crown chakra. So I maybe that's helpful to help clear up some of the it's only about sex. I mean, what else would you add to that as to help our listeners understand?
I think the first thing I want to say is that anyone can have a wonderful and blissful sex life. I think that's number one. And it is possible, and there is so much more than what we allow ourselves to be, to feel, to share. So that's one. And the thing is, it goes together. If your sex life with yourself, start with you with you, is blissful, is nourishing, is juicy as well. So much of in your life will change. At the same time, if your life is blissful and juicy and all of it, your sex life will change. And Tantra address both. So that's that. For me, it's
Beautiful.
yeah. I think it's in the words needs to come out that never give up, just show up. And all of it is available to you. Just don't give up. Show up, find the teacher, find the method, and
Yes, stay curious. Stay
stay
curious.
curious.
And
Yeah.
yeah, and that's why I love saying these things and because when I heard for the first time things that my body were capable of, that my body was wired for these unbelievable levels of expansion and pleasure that I had no idea, I felt gypped. I felt like I could have lived my whole lifetime with this potential, but
Yeah.
without knowing it existed and knowing to even work with it. And when Sarita, our teacher, we trained with Ma Ananda Sarita in Bali with Tantra Essence. She's an amazing example of a woman that's truly embodied and awakened and wise and sensual and playful. And it gave me permission to see a woman in her 70s. I don't know how old she is. No one knows. To see a woman in her 70s embodied like that and so connected to herself and so accepting of herself and so wise and in her sensuality. I hadn't been exposed to women older than me that have been in that state. I haven't. So that was permission for me. So, and then she would say things like what I just shared about every chakra can have an orgasm and an orgasm with the universe. And I'm like, that's a thing. Sign me up. Like, as soon as I know something is a thing, I have to do it. I'm like, well, if anyone's ever done it, I can do it.
Exactly. Exactly. And I think that's why to do, for example, go to a place with other women that either as beginner like you or are already walk, and the teacher that teach has already walked. That's the definition. It's such a blessing just to be in the room, because women will share and you get to hear like, oh, this is available, this exists. That's how you pass that. But you did pass it. But if you did, then I will pass it too.
And how did you pass it? Tell me how you worked. Okay, that's a clue. Women coming together and doing this work together is potent for so many reasons, but that being one of them. Let's not reinvent the wheel. We're all wired as women. We're all having similar challenges, right?
Exactly. Exactly. Yeah, exactly. There's no need to start from scratch. Just find other women that have walked, that have been with older women or women with more experience. You share, you get the wisdom, and you move on.
I mean, we felt it in our retreat. It was infectious, like watching women from the beginning to the end and look completely different, walk completely different. Even from, it was a 2-year training. And by the end of the second year, there were some women that they should just change their name. Like, the energetic is just so different and rooted, right? And just, whatever the evolution of their journey was, but it's infectious and it's permission and it's contagious in the best way to have women like that doing this type of work together. This work was designed to be done in with women. I mean, with people together, but women especially.
Yeah. Yeah, and the thing also, it gives you permission and hope, because it doesn't take that long. And I think that's the key. It doesn't take forever. You need to do the work, but it doesn't take forever.
It's true, especially if you step out of your life and go to a more of an immersive experience where, like, day in and day out, you're truly rewiring your body and your brain and your energetic system. By working with the energetic system in a more concentrated way, I should say, it definitely can go faster as well. And it is encouraging. It doesn't have to take a lifetime.
Yeah, exactly. And I think one of the key also is that it's good to also do all this work. I mean, it's good. You can do it like on one-on-one, and it works. I work a lot with women like that.
Yes, yes.
Yet the advantage of being in a retreat is that you live, because sometimes your daily life is not yet supportive of who you want to be. And it's good to take a break, work on you, undisturbed, and then go back to your life, make the change you need, or adjust. It doesn't need to be drastic. And I think
love
that's
that.
that's a big...
And especially with so many women in today's world that are holding so much and grinding and overgiving, and there's definitely no space. So for them to step out of their lives and be held by a retreat and be guided in these practices and kind of surrender into the work, into the
Yeah.
expansion, it's nourishing for them.
Yeah.
So, were you going to say something else?
No, I'm
Okay.
listening to you.
I love it. Well, your French accent, I have to pay attention to your words because I'm like, oh my God, your accent's so lovely. You taught me, I mean, really, your accent. I just want some program that I can just have an accent. I would like a South American accent or a French accent. They're the two that I love the most. So I just love listening to you. And you taught me something that helped me so much. So this is just a side note, but it's a funny story. When I am most places and I'm there and it's a party, it's a gathering, it's a thing, and I'm enjoying myself and it's good and it's good. And at some point something happens to me and the energy changes and it's over for me. I'm all done. And there's no offense. I'm not mad at anybody, but like I'm like done. It's time to go. And when that energy changes and I'm leaving, I can't do the goodbye thing. Goodbye. Okay, see you next. Okay, bye. It was really nice to see. There's nothing in me that can do the goodbye thing. And you're like, it's a French goodbye. I'm like, when you call it a French goodbye, I don't feel like an asshole just leaving and not saying goodbye. The French, they're just out. Is that what it is, right?
Yeah, the Spanish, because I live in Ibiza in Spain, and the Spanish, they very warm culture, and they
Yes.
say goodbye, and they say goodbye for a while. And then when they're really busy, they say, okay, I'm going to do a French goodbye. And they just leave.
Now I can call it something and not feel like a jerk. Thank you so much. Because I've tried to linger and I get nauseous. Like when I'm done, I'm done. But when I'm there, I'm all there. Like I'm totally there.
Yeah,
Okay.
I understand.
Thank you for the French goodbye permission. It's really helped my self-worth. Well, so we've opened the door to Tantra, with, kind of laying out more of what it's about. And I would love to get more into Tantra with couples work, because one of the beautiful things about Tantra, it really addresses the opposites, and so masculine and feminine, it works with polarity, which I'm obsessed with. And it works with it in such an inherent way that we're wired. So feminine work is really working with the positive feminine poles, right? The womb, the heart, the third eye. And for masculine, it's the other chakras, the root, the solar plexus, and the throat. And so by a feminine working with the female polarities and the male with the masculine, they are doing more of the work within their own makeup, women as women and men as men. But when they come together, you just finished a very intensive training called Soulmates Training. And there are like 7 levels of this, I believe, with Mahananda Sarita. And so you're just coming out of very fresh from this amazing work. I would love, because I wish I was there, for you to share some yum-yums, some practice, like what's alive for you to share about couples work in Tantra and your journey with your beloved in this work.
Yes. So yes, I just came out a week ago from the level 1. I was part of the team with Mahananda Sarita and with Modesta, who is our co-teacher. And I think what is very clear is that what prevents couple to stay in a honeymoon phase, because how when you start with someone, there is this unconditional love. You just adore the person, and it's the beginning, and also all this choosiness. It's in daily life, you live this very French life because we are famous for romance. Yes,
exactly.
Yeah, and then with time it fades away. And I could see it in my relationship, even though we adore each other and we've been together for a a short time, it does fade away.
Yeah.
And what is on the way, you would think is, it's because we need better sexual position, better whatever. What is on the way, I would even say it's, you stop being at the service of love. It's like, you have this thing in Tantra where you literally, especially in couple work, where you both, to love itself. What you create together, love, is
Yes.
higher
Yes.
than your two egos, your two personality. I want you to be
Yes.
like this. I want you.
Yes.
But there is something more, which is your love. The meeting of you two, your love, is the priority. And you both, your partner and yourself, at the service to that thing
To
that is
love
more than you.
itself.
To
Your
love itself.
devotion's to love itself. So yes, it's the love of you and the love of you to me, but it's actually a little even bigger than that. It's the
It's because,
devotion is to love itself. So it is a playground of that devotion. Is that what I'm hearing you say?
it's exactly that. And you both a team at the service of what the meeting of two of you create, which is love itself. And
That is
that,
so beautiful.
yeah, that is like, it's an honor. And then I think all the work, the soulmate work, is number one, you remember that. You let go of, all the, of course you have things that needs to be talked about and clear up, and there's a lot of that. You receive tools, to deal with that, misunderstanding, disagreement, you're two different person, which is very important, but then you
Yes.
have, things where you disagree or
Yes.
you don't like. You get tools to work through that, yet as a team. You remember, number one, you're a team. Together at the service, not of the other, not of yourself, at the service of this magnificent thing that can only be created by two people in love.
And when it's elevated to that degree, like in service of love, it helps you work through the nitty gritty bullshit faster because you're in devotion to something with such a higher vibration that is beyond the two of you.
Exactly.
Wow.
And made by the two of you, and I think that's what is magnificent. It can only happen if the two of you meet, melt, beyond everything. And I think I love that about Tantra is, and let's be clear, it's not having not having boundaries, or it's not about, surrender to everything. Boundary, yes. And this thing, the merging of two people in love, the melting and and that's what the Tantra path is about.
Wow.
Boundary
And the boundaries and all the smaller things, they're important, but they're almost
yeah.
easier to find when we are focused on a higher vibrational energy.
Yeah,
And love
I
is
can
a
give you
service. Yeah. Please.
I can give you a very practical example
Please.
in my own life, because so my partner is also on the path of Tantra, and we had for another training that I was doing that is more for all kind of. We did a Tantra training that was for women, but
Yes.
I did another one that was for
Yes.
everyone,
Right.
included men, and my
Yes.
partner was also in that training, and we had some homework to do, meditation that you can do by yourself or together.
Right.
And I couldn't believe, because I thought, oh, we're gonna meditate together and we're gonna be just in this blissful bubble and more in love. Not at all, my friend.
No.
Not at all.
What
We
happened?
started to fight like hell.
Really?
Nasty, below the belt kind of fight. Oh yeah.
Really?
Oh
During
yeah.
the training? During the
Oh,
training or
not
after?
during the training, when we were doing our practices.
The practices. So tell me, what do you think was going on?
Oh, I have the answer, because
I love
I
you.
couldn't believe. I had this like normally neurotic relationship where, okay, we would fight sometimes, but
Right.
nothing massive. We started to do some homework, like basic tantric meditation, even just call it meditation, nothing naked. And we started to have fight, but like nasty fight. But then one day, and it's a very funny moment, we are in Amsterdam, because this is where my partner was. He's from Holland. And we just did one of the meditation, nothing naked, my friend, like basic
Yeah.
breathing, whatever. And we are on our way to brunch. And I'm with myself, and it's like 3 weeks we've been fighting, and we changed practice, we changed meditation, and we're still fighting. It was like, something was lightening me, like, what the fuck is going on?
Yeah.
And then I'm on my way. We are on our way. We are outside. It's the morning, on our way to brunch, and I'm walking. Every 30 seconds, I get this brilliant idea. Oh, now I'm gonna talk to him about that. And I'm thinking, no, I'm not gonna talk about that, because if I'm talking about that, he's gonna be mega pissed off or
It's
triggered
not
or
going to get
whatever.
us anywhere.
So I put the file down, and I'm telling
Yeah.
myself, no, we're not talking about that. 30 seconds later, oh, now I'm gonna talk about that
Yeah.
again.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
It goes on for like 5 minutes, where every 30 seconds I have a brilliant idea.
Oh, yeah.
We arrive at the next red light. He starts. And he's like, we need to talk about this and this and this. And I wanted to laugh, but he was really nasty below the belt. A part of me was upset, and a part of me had just seen that
Awareness. Yeah.
yeah. And I'm telling him, my love, it's 5 minutes that I want to talk to you about so many things that for sure will get us to a big, big fight, nasty one. What about we wait till tomorrow? And he's like, no, but you don't understand. This is important. Yeah, I'm not sure. And he's really upset. We keep walking. And at some point, he trusted me. Just like, okay, maybe she has a point. We didn't talk about anything. We went to the French bakery, had fantastic cake, fantastic breakfast. We forgot. We forgot what was the big, big conversation about. And that's the trick. And we talked to Sarita about it, because I thought, my God, we nasty people. And she said, this is the transcendental, the ego taking revenge, because with that practice, and it was a very simple one, you expand in bliss, you expand in joy, you expand in awareness. The ego, who is in control of your life, doesn't like that.
Wow.
So it sabotaged the whole thing.
Wow.
Apparently, it's a classic.
Wow. But that makes a lot of sense, is that you're going deeper into this blissful connection, this elevated state of joy and just purity of connection. The ego is like, wait, I have to exist, and sabotages it because its job is to exist. And what you did is you had the awareness to say, let's not give it energy. Right?
Exactly.
Like wherever you put your attention and energy is what grows, right? And so that was the download you got of like, I'm just feeling like, let's not do that. And everything shifted, because these things were coming to you like, oh, I'm pissed about this. And literally it didn't eat at you again after
and
you
in
just,
the moment, it feels very real.
oh
It's just
yeah.
like, oh my God, no, but this is important. This is my boundary. This is whatever, da 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 da. And actually, and that's why you need practice, because you don't even know what is really you, and it's a boundary, it's an important topic, it's whatever you need to share, or this is an issue that needs to be worked through, versus the system that you have built in you, dominating you.
And that's not freedom. That's the opposite.
That's
That's a
not
prison.
freedom.
That's another prison, when we don't know there's another way and we keep feeding into the loudest voice.
Exactly.
That's what's going to win. But the other thing I want to highlight about that really beautiful story is that you had an observer. You had the goings on, and then you had this elevated observer of like, oh, interesting. Every 30 seconds, I have another bitch session come through. Isn't that interesting? It wasn't judging you. It was like, huh, no. And this one's wiser. We're not going to talk about that. Oh, but we're not going to talk about that. The two voices competing, and you chose the wiser one that felt different. So I want to just acknowledge.
To be
Say it again.
honest, at the beginning it was, and I think that's very important on the path, is I gave a shot to another option. what if this time I don't go there? What happened?
Yeah.
I did it like a science project.
That's the Bliss Lab. You're in the Bliss Lab. We treat life like a science experiment. You change a variable and just see what the fuck happens. Let me try and not every 30 seconds tell him what he's doing wrong, just to see what happens.
Exactly, exactly. And that's where you work as a team. And I think that to come back to your question about the couple work is that number one, you need to make a choice, which is, okay, let's wait, put our normal way, which is not really working right now, on the side, try something different and see what happens.
Yeah.
And get tools. Get
Mhm.
tools. You need tools to deal, and that's what you learn, for example, in the soulmate. You need tools to deal with when one of you is like, you did this and you did this to me, and that which never gets you anywhere. You get tool to, first of all, come back to I. Instead of saying, you did this, and you say, I'm hurt, I'm in pain, and you go deeper, you dive in that. You say the same thing. You talk about the same topic, but when you do the I, first of all, you acknowledge how you really feel. And that makes a hell of a difference.
And when you use the I, your partner can stay present and engaged because the you is attacking and they're going to get defensive, which is I'm just trying to defend the attack, versus I can stay open and even have more compassion and more curiosity about what my partner's feeling when he or she isn't attacking me. So I statements are really powerful, very amazing tool for partner communication, for any communication of anything. I love the I statements because I'm also owning it as my experience. Which is my experience, but I don't know what the fuck you said or did or what you feel. I can't even go there. I feel so beautiful. So having the tools and that awareness, I think those are two, and these practices cultivate the awareness, and then having the tools can keep the momentum moving towards the bliss and the beauty of the union, because some relationships have the most beautiful parts of them and they can have really toxic connections and tendencies.
All of them. I don't think it's some. I think that I genuinely believe that
Yes.
any relationship can be blissful. I just do. I do.
Okay, wait. Do you think there's a match for, do you think most people can have it if they have the tools? Like there's not this perfect fit? I have so been back and forth on this.
I think that you need the tool and you need the commitment to trust.
That's non-negotiable.
That's non-negotiable. Yeah. But if you do have that, the tools and the commitment to practice the tools and commitment to truth being love itself, because love is truth, it's the same. Any relationship can be blissful, but you need that and you need to do the work on yourself.
I really love that. I'm going to add one thing. I think I agree with you. Any relationship can be blissful as long as you have the things you mentioned. And maybe this fits into that, but you also have to have two people willing to grow, two people willing to excavate, to own, to be curious, to continue to expand. Because in coaching couples, which I do every now and then, it's like, is this couple going to make it? And it's always like, well, if one of them is not willing to engage, I think that's the kiss of death to the relationship. Because you can also see a potential that it would be beautiful. So I think that's really, I agree. I agree.
Yeah. That's what I mean by commitment to truth is like, are you going to do everything it takes to find the truth?
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
So this work you've been through on the ride with your relationship, seeing the ups and the downs and the beauty and the potency of Tantra work together, because you two are high level trained together and practice. Often, what does your practices look like, or how often do you practice, and what are some of your favorites?
I think it depends where we are at and what is going on. But I got the tip from you.
Oh, what did I do? What did I say?
One that I think is amazing is like, I think it's nice to, because sexuality and frustration, and it's not, I think anyone can have a blissful sexuality, but you can like load up and pile up frustration for years, especially couples that
Yes.
have been together. And even if it's not for years with your couple, it's with your ex-boyfriend. So it's nice to put it on the side first, to like, okay, let's trust that this is gonna work sexually and everything else. But let's first like start simple. And first of all, and I think this was so clear when I did the soulmate training, you need to spend time together, quality time together.
Mm-hmm.
Step one,
Mm-hmm.
where you put all the file, all the resentment, all the fight, the loan to pay, the mortgage, the kids, the whatever, and you spend time together. Like I can give you a very practical example. At some point with my partner, we were in some kind of fight, but we hadn't seen each other because I was working a lot.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, well, we need to talk about A, B, C, and D. And he said, yeah, no, I need that we spend time together without A, B, C, and D. I was like, I don't know, because and we did. You know what? We did it. I came
Was
to
that
him.
hard for you? Because A, B,
You
C,
know
and
what?
D
It wasn't.
really want airtime. It's almost like once we get to D, I'm all yours. No.
No. Here's what I did. I negotiated, and my partner is a very good negotiator. And I said, okay, we spend these 4 days together. We put everything on the side. We just spend quality time together. However, you guarantee that before the next 10 days, we start to talk, and I can have as many talk as I want for as long as I want
Yes.
until I feel complete with A, B,
Yes.
C,
And you
and
will
D.
listen and you will love it.
And I knew he would show up. That's important.
Yeah. Yeah.
I came. Well, the airport welcome was a little bit frozen, hell
Little
frozen.
tense.
It was a bit like, but we both
Yeah.
have a lot of humor, and you actually know your partner, and that's
Yeah.
important. You need to know your partner. He knows
Mm-hmm.
that flowers work for me, and then we went for a
Mm-hmm.
walk, and we were,
Mm-hmm.
like, but we didn't talk about A, B, C, D. We did 10 days later. We were both resourced. We had had a nice time together.
Mm-hmm.
We were both relaxed also. And I managed. And we managed, and we took care of this A, B, C, D in, I don't know, maybe 4 or 5
And
conversations.
that's the truth. And when you do get to it, I call it a cushion of love. If there isn't a cushion of love, everything falls really hard. If the
Exactly.
connection isn't there and the investment and the deposits in the love bank, if they're there, it's quick. It's a totally different conversation than trying to address them from fracture, from distance, or without that, the cushion of love. You get that.
Exactly. And that's essential. And that's where you need to have trust, because sometimes you think, well, but if we don't take care of that, I'm gonna be forever trapped in an unhealthy relationship. So
Yes.
you need to like have trust. It's
Yes.
almost faith.
It's
Faith that,
faith.
yeah.
That's what happens to me. If I don't address this, I'm going to be stuck in an unhealthy relationship. That's a strong one that grips me. And it
Yeah.
really makes me believe that I need to stay upset about this thing or fight for this thing, almost as a way to look out for myself, because I feel like I didn't do that well in the past. So that's something that I grapple with because, girl, I just want to commend you. Like you're saying, and I just chose to not talk about it. That's not easy in a moment when you're really charged about it and it feels self-protective. So I want to honor that in the moment that can feel like the most impossible task or like dying almost, but try it. Like just try it and
But
see
here's
the
the
outcome.
trick. Actually, there is a trick, is that I'm talking because I'm a woman, so I will talk about women. But if you do your own work, meaning,
Yes.
look at unresolved issue, but also if you have found what does nourish you, it feels less like dying.
Yeah.
And
It's true.
this is the balance, is like you cannot have a healthy relationship if you don't have a healthy relationship with you.
It'll just reflect whatever
Yeah.
unhealthiness relationship you have
And
with yourself
in
will
the
just reflect.
moment where you need like superhero move, where you can for 4 days be all like love bubble, when you actually think I'm gonna die if we don't solve this.
Yes.
But what carries you is your inner nourishment, inner centered, inner, and
Yeah.
that's why, like for me, when I started to work on the path of the feminine with women as a woman, I got suddenly filled with self-confidence, but
Hmm.
in the way that I'm not gonna die if it's over.
Wholeness. Yes.
Yeah,
Like being whole and complete. And
yeah,
you've got yourself. That's what me and my sisters say. Like we've got ourselves. Like once you
yeah.
have yourself, there's stability, even if it's rocky out here. I'm not leaning too much on this external thing. So if it goes away, I fall down. And that's the truth. Yeah. And which is a lot of the IFS work, meeting your inner child, meeting those feelings inside, that there's a pattern and there's a theme if you pay attention to what triggers them. And if you can give it what it needs and figure out exactly the quality of love and care that those feelings need, that's wholeness. And that's actually freedom. That's another form of freedom.
That's the point. And then you can have this fantastic, important person in your life on top of your whole cake. It's the cherry on
It is
top
the
of a
frosting, whipped cream,
exactly.
cherry. It's,
And
but
it
it,
is
but
wonderful and
yes,
important.
yes.
Yet
Hmm.
you have a cake, babe. You have a
And
cake.
that's freedom. And
And
that's
that's
bliss, because
freedom.
your okayness isn't, as long as you do exactly what I need, I'll be okay. I'm just good. I'm good. And these things ruffle me, but just on the surface, and I can address them out here, but I have a sense of stability inside. That's really beautiful, beautiful that all came through right now. And I also think some couples could think if we fight, our relationship isn't going well. And I say the health of a relationship isn't determined on if you have disagreements. The health of your relationship is how do you work through them?
Exactly. I think it's Esther Perel, the French
I love
super
her.
famous, whatever she does. And she
Relationships.
says,
She's a therapist in Manhattan. Yes.
yeah, exactly. And she says that I, fight are part of a healthy relationship. You're two different person. If you don't
Yeah.
fight, I mean, one of you is like not speaking or not
Yes.
being themselves. The way you repair,
Yeah.
that's the art of relating.
That is the art of relating. And that's where
And,
the ownership. Hmm.
yeah, and I think another thing is that you actually, because we don't know ourselves, we don't know, we talked about it at the beginning, we don't know our potential, we don't know how much is available to you. And that's what I was telling my partner, because I have done a lot of work by myself.
Hmm.
And when we went to the soulmate, I have this guy, and he's
Hmm.
not theory, he's my guy, he's the man I'm attached to, literally. And to have him that close doing the same exercise, oof, there is much more on the plate,
Hmm.
and the potential
Hmm.
is so high to find
Mm.
pieces of myself I could not find. Because
Mm.
you need a
Wow.
mirror that close. And I've been on the path, it's 30 years. I have done hundreds of group and self-work.
Yeah.
Then to have that man who is committed, safe, stable, and all in with me as a mirror, I have in the last 10 days discovered things about myself I haven't yet, I
Wow.
didn't know.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's the power of relationship. And
Yeah.
relationships literally are personal development on steroids, because reflection, reflection, reflection. And how we choose, are we going to deflect all of that and blame, or are we going to like feel and listen? And so I think relationships are designed. It just the whole purpose of them is that growth and that reflection, because it's constant. And so wow, you hit
Yeah.
new levels of understanding
Independent.
yourself and potential by sharing intimate space in these practices with him. I
Yeah.
love that.
Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah.
Beautiful. That's so beautiful. So yes, couples work. in Tantra is extremely expansive on physical, mental, emotional, and spiritual levels. I love what you're saying about, one of the biggest takeaways for you is a devotion to love itself.
Yeah.
And your relationship is a devotion to love itself. It takes some pressure off of the tit for tat. It's about something greater.
Yeah. Yeah.
Beautiful. Good. It's great, to share the different types of ways that one can study Tantra. There is, working with it on your own, working with it in relationship. And they're both important. And I wanted to go a little bit deeper into the feminine path of Tantra. The course we met in was called Goddess Essence. And it is truly highlighting the feminine path through Tantra. And I would love to hear your thoughts and feelings about the gift that is for women and the journey that could be for women, and what Tantra really has to offer women in this work in today's world and culture.
Well, for me, like, I was always on that path, but I didn't know, until someone put a name on it. I call that quite a badass life. I skied to the North Pole. I lived with the nomadic people in Central Asia by myself for years. Yet, a resource I always had was beauty, but not in the way of like a beauty in a way of taking care, color that are harmonious, that jewelry that I like, and lingerie that I loved. I skied to the North Pole. By minus 50 degrees, I had a fantastic bra, not a sport one.
Yeah.
Dignity, my friend,
I did it
dignity.
in style, okay? I did it in style.
But I thought, oh, I would go to Vipassana retreat because I have practiced a lot of Vipassana. I would come with 30 dresses, like literally 30. And I thought, it's because I'm French, it's because maybe I'm a little bit shallow or whatever, because people come to Vipassana with a shawl and jogging, so I don't know, sweatpants.
Yes, exactly.
And I would know the color, the hearings, And then I started to do, this was an amazing moment, I started to do somatic experience work, a session. I was at the moment, it was a bit challenging for me. I was with my therapist, and she was like trying to resource me, telling me,
Yes.
okay, nature didn't work, friends, family, whatever, no.
Yes.
And then I looked down, and I was wearing this lace pantyhose, and I looked at it, and the design, the way it was, that resourced me. And that was a very important moment for me, because I was like, well, then it's not just artificial shallow, it's an actual resource for me. In a moment where I was extremely triggered in trauma, whatever, beauty, aesthetic resource me. And I think it's the case for women. And for me, once I started to really dive deeper into the path of the feminine, I felt this deep nourishment within. Something in me just relaxed. Like, okay, this is me.
I'm home.
Yeah, I'm home.
I'm home. And this is what I was made for. And this takes the least energy to feel the best by running this system of the feminine.
Yeah,
That's
absolutely.
a beautiful story, because in a moment of dysregulation, you really learn a lot, because it's vulnerable and it's exposed. And by seeing that, you got to, in real time, in a really powerful way, understand the actual power of adorning yourself, of taking time to bring the beauty forward from a deeper place. And of course, beauty can be shallow. The external beauty, it can be, but understanding your relationship to it and where it's moving from within you.
And it's connected to self-love.
Yes. I'm going to share that I've had such a journey with vanity and beauty in my lifetime. I was raised by two incredible parents who were vain. They're vain. They're New Yorkers, fashion and everyone, we always had to look good. And my relationship to looking good was to survive. It felt dangerous to not look good. Like everything had to be good. My hair, my makeup, my clothes. And it was threatening if I didn't have it together. And it was my self-worth was that facade. And when I was in actually naturopathic medical school, we do a lot of personal development work in that program. I realized my relationship to my beauty was unhealthy. And it was on the surface, and it was something that made me something. And if it was just it felt dangerous to not look good. So I went through a year or two of not coloring my hair, not wearing matching clothes, like putting no effort into it, just to feel like, who the fuck am I? Just it was so liberating. I thought it was scary, but I had to let it all go and slowly refined the love of what colors feel nice on me and the fabrics, and that when I put effort into my appearance, it is a celebration of Danite. It is the energy I bring from my essence to the world. It is for me. Like when I sit down to work, I work from home, so I could be in sweatpants every day, and I don't. Often I'll put on a dress. I'll put on nice smelling things. For me, I expressed, and it was that journey from where I started to now, like I can feel the depth of it and the importance of it from a healthier place, and it related to what you shared.
Oh, that's beautiful. Very beautiful. Thank you for sharing.
Yeah. Yeah.
Wow.
And for women to heal their relationship to their beauty and understand it is important for the feminine, but in a different way than maybe what we're shown.
Exactly. And of course, the path of the feminine is much more than that. It's like it is beauty is part of it, and a woman can make a home. The way what we have around us.
Yeah.
But it's much more than that. There is so much on the path of the feminine. Like there is empowerment,
Embodiment.
Oh, know your
Love.
breast.
Yes.
Your relationship to your breast.
Yes. Your breasts. They're your breasts.
Breast. Exactly.
They're yours first.
Yeah.
And your relationship with your breasts. And your breasts are actually an extension of your heart. We're not taught this, but when you start connecting to your breasts as an extension of your heart, it changes everything.
Totally.
Yeah.
And it's so like I have done training too. I'm a breast care therapist, and I've spent I started with a teacher in India, and because she discovered among the book of her father, who was an Ayurvedic doctor, and she's a doctor herself, a book hidden on it's almost like brushing your teeth. This very, very ancient medicine believed that women should take care of her breast.
Yes. Wow.
It's so essential for a woman. All our anxiety, everything goes in our breast. We have to take care of our breast.
And this is a part of our tantric practice and our tantric teachings is breast massage and meditation. It is so essential.
And
these
you
are
feel
the codes.
much better. You're much calmer because
you don't even know to do it.
Exactly. And when I did this training with my Indian teacher on the breast care, so you take care of your breast, you massage your breast, you do meditation for the breast for a month. And after a month, I felt lightness from within.
Yes. It's soothing to the spirit. It's soothing to the spirit, and obviously the self connection. This is a beautiful example of how feminine, tantra work is so powerful for women in ways that only women can apply, as far as breast massage and things like that. But feminine tantra, this is a beautiful example, but on the whole, the feminine work and feminine tantra addresses the power centers, the energy centers that are feminine in polarity, like I explained earlier, the womb, the heart, and the third eye. And by working with these portals into the goddess, portals into femininity. They each have their own mystery and their own depth and their own gifts, but to connect women to those centers of themselves and understand that's the power. So much of what we were ridiculed for or shunned for of being a woman, being emotional, being cyclical, having all these feelings are actually our power when we understand how to use them and listen to them and move them and be connected to the body in a way that we can receive this information. Because if we're just up here in our brains and our minds all day long, we miss out on this wisdom. And that is such a big gift of feminine Tantra work for women, is connecting them to how they're wired to be powerful and graceful and blissful. And it's so much less energy when you work with the wiring you have than work against it, right?
Absolutely. It's much more than that. It's your birthright. It's your
Say that again. Will you say that again?
Birthright.
Oh, God. Okay, sorry, go ahead. I get distracted. It is your birthright, and we don't even know it's a fucking thing. That's why we're doing this work and doing this podcast. Yeah, please continue. It's so exciting.
Yeah, and another thing that I want to say, because it was not obvious to me, and you wouldn't think it would be obvious, because I'm this very I was born in we call that bobo, family, educated, we were not very wealthy, but we were well.
Yeah.
When we started, because you say third eye, you could think, it's all this kind of woo-woo thing. But you know what? The third eye has to do with intuition, but it also has to do with your intelligence. And what my first takeaway was? Me, French educated, wealthy family,
right,
was the right to be intelligent.
Ooh, as a woman.
As a woman, my friend. Yeah. In the Goddess Essence Teacher Training Part 1, because we were in training to be teachers, we had to practice. We had to teach to each other.
That's right.
And here I am sitting, watching my brilliant friends, you were one of them, teaching, and I was drinking. Wow, this is an intelligent woman. She's so brilliant.
Yes.
Even though she's a woman, because I had received a message that women are kind of second class.
Yes.
You can study, but, you're never going to be a man. And we're still not paid as much as them, as men.
I know.
And for me, when you say third eye, I also want to bring it to the ground. It's also because in Ibiza, you have a lot of work on, the divine feminine. And that was not talking to me, because I was like, but wait, being a woman means you put a pretty crown and some glitter, and here you are, you're divine. And I did a 9-month course with the path of Tibetan Buddhism, because the Tibetan, they have divided the feminine and the potential on the feminine in 21 archetypes.
That's right.
Because I needed to understand, okay, empower feminine, what is that? And I had to have that teacher teach me and give me example of women, poet, writer, activist, whatever, that now have embodied all this quality. So when you say third eye, it's also the right to your intelligence.
Excuse me. I'm choking. I'm so interested. The intelligence piece for women, we couldn't, and there was a time that it wasn't safe to be so smart. You couldn't show up men. You couldn't be smarter than men, because they would use their power to take you out. And so I love that you're connecting the third eye with intuition, which is also intelligence, but we can get a lot of our wisdom. Sometimes women just know. And we don't have to know how we know, but if you are connected with the body, you start understanding the feeling of a knowing, that you are gifted with a knowing, which is different than I think, I wonder, I heard. And I know where I feel I know in my body. And now I do whatever that thing says. whatever the I know, even if I'm like, it doesn't make sense, I run it through my brain, like, well, da, 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 da. It's like, shut the fuck up. I know, and I'm not questioning it. And I tested this out for a while and just did it. And sometimes it's scary stuff. And sometimes it's stuff that makes waves. And sometimes it's stuff that upsets people. And sometimes it's just brilliance. But there's a devotion I've developed to that feeling and a trust, which I believe connects more into self-love. Like if I'm not listening to like my deepest knowing, what am I saying about how am I behaving with myself?
And for me, I can tell you in my relationship, I had a breakthrough moment where I started to tell my partner, stop pathologizing me. Don't pathologize me.
Pathologize me, whatever. Yeah.
Thank you.
Pathologize. There it is.
Because I would be upset and he would say, yeah, but you're always upset. No, I'm not. If I am very, very upset right now, there is a reason why, and we need to figure out what it is. But I know there is something. And we had massive breakthrough because I didn't back down. If I am that upset in my bones,
yes,
something is off. Either we look at it, but you don't make me the crazy emotional one. No. If I am that strongly upset, there is a reason. Either you look at it with me or I go to my therapist. And we have had massive breakthrough for that.
Wow, it's trusting the feminine wisdom. And the feminine's chaotic. The feminines can be wild. And it's not that we're overreacting, which is like the worst thing you could say to a woman in her emotions. It's that we feel it. It comes through us. And if it can be seen as wisdom, and if we can, keep ourselves enough centered in it to share, it's a gift.
It's a gift, and I have the immense honor to have a partner that knows that.
Yes.
And so when we touch that moment where I'm like on fire, like the goddess Kali, like, oh, no way I let that pass.
Yes.
And he has I know she's not a bitch. And I know that she's that upset, that means there is something. And we both drop and team up to figure out what is it. It doesn't mean I'm right.
No, but it means let's be curious. I love that. I think that's so powerful, and that level of communication, is everything. Oh, it is just so good to hang out with you.
I love you so much.
And this is what we did in Bali. We'd get our lunch and sit on the chairs by the pool and be like, and it's
totally on fire, mapping the whole world, and
And I think we think alike, and I always feel very connected when I talk to you, and very understood and very inspired. And I really am grateful that you're here to share this with me. And this is the first episode on the Bliss Lab about Tantra. And I hope there will be more of just really opening this conversation, sharing the potential of this beautiful gift of a practice, of a way of life, of a way of bringing consciousness to everything, a way of understanding that pleasure is actually a portal to enlightenment, to divinity. And, by prioritizing that pleasure, understanding, for a woman being receptive, the receptivity of a woman is really our power, and that's in our surrender, and that's in our pleasure, and how deeply can we let it touch us to be moved and to receive the divine wisdom. And it's a beautiful journey and such a beautiful conversation to share with you. Do you feel there's anything that is you want to share, anything more that is burning or that you think would be important for people to understand at the closing of this conversation?
I mean, it's an understanding. I just got it again and again and again is start, find a way, find a method, but start now.
Yes.
Because it's there, it's available. There are therapies, method, books, whatever, but start now. Because life goes, and you don't want to wake up at 60 and think, oh my God, why did I look at it earlier? Because it's there. So start now. Please. Don't miss. Like you can, if
Yeah.
you are now upset with your partner and it's lingering, start now. Find a
Yeah.
couple therapists, find a book, find a
Yeah.
tantric book
Yep.
but start.
A tantric book, a retreat, a teacher, and there's so much more going on now. I'm loving it, of tantra weekends and couples work, and look into your teacher. And there's been different types of tantra, but yeah, start, because once you do,
Start.
you'll be sorry you didn't sooner. That's why we're saying it.
Yeah, like, oh my God, start,
Yeah.
because in 2 weeks your life can be completely different.
Yeah. Oh yeah. So true. I am so grateful you took the time from the other side of the world, by the way. She is in Bali, so she's in tomorrow. I'm in today. or,
Yes.
or I'm in yesterday and you're in today, whichever one.
Well,
So
thank
I'm,
you for inviting me in this beautiful podcast of yours. It's an honor, my love. Yeah.
I just needed a reason to hang out with you again and look at your
Yeah.
beautiful face. So until next time, listeners, and Tara, with all my love, until next time, we'll have you back and we'll go deeper, okay?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Bye for now.